Sam, it's Andrew. It's Wrestling News 2 of the day. I didn't mean to flip you all off there. I realised I just went...
Hey, calm down. What are you doing?
I said I'm covering it up. I was just kind of going... I went to say the number 2. I should have done that, but I did it the other way around. Yeah, I was mean in an English way. I do apologise, audience. I do apologise. I can see you all in the comments telling me off. Judging. You've done it now, Sam. You've done it now. It's the end of the road for me.
That's it. Do you know what your punishment is?
I'll never flip anybody off again.
Never again? Go on, one more time just for the camera. Go on. That was
Headlines. Original SummerSlam plans for Becky Lynch have been revealed. NBC and USA are apparently unhappy with the stacked SmackDown roster. And Adam Cole is done with WWE, according to a new report. So kicking things off with news regarding Becky Lynch's SummerSlam return, and I don't think I've ever been so happy and then just so gut punched. All at once, it was just like, oh, this is amazing! Oh God, my life is over. This is awful. But yeah, it's been controversial to say the least. I mean, it was weird. I've had some people reply to. I put a tweet out just saying Belair did not deserve that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like, yeah, she didn't deserve that. And there were a lot of people stop trying to ruin this moment. And it was like, what? Okay, yeah, well, Becky's back, and I'm happy Becky's back.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just the situation I'm not happy with. But according to Andrew Zarian of the Mat Men podcast, the original SummerSlam plans were very different to how they wound up. And while her return was something that had been planned in advance, her title win was more last minute. And per Zarian, he said, I was told this was not going to be the ending, obviously. She was going to show up on this card. Becky Lynch was always going to come out for the live crowd. It was not something that was last minute. The title change was the difference that was something new. That was not planned. That was an adjustment. They made it, and we'll see where it goes on Friday. So it's, I get it, and I put the belt on Becky, and they want to make Becky heel, and they want to run with all that. That sounds great. It's still just that sucker punch of Belair getting, and it because it was bookended by minutes of you had Rick Boogs and Nakamura
so odd.
just out, even though they weren't on the card, which getting names on the show, fine, I do understand it. But then you had 5 minutes of posturing for Becky afterwards, and then there were so many segments that were kind of ran over throughout the evening that were stretched out that you could have maybe fit more time into it.
I agree,
but
I'm, as a lot of us have said, very happy to see Becky back. Just a weird decision that they made. It did feel very last minute. And, I mean, there was just no context, was there? Becky comes back, wins the belt. And now we're only getting the context of, she's turning heel, she's doing this, this, and this. So in the moment, it was a huge sucker punch. And we were like, whoa, what's going on? But as I was saying to Tom on the news, if Becky can put Belair over really, really well, and I think she will, those two are going to have absolute barn burners of matches.
Well, this is it. The matches are going to be insane, aren't they?
Then it's going to be worth it in the end. Or at least you'd hope that it would be worth it in the end. So I guess we will see where it goes. We'll see what happens on Friday. But I just feel for Belair after she'd been built up so well, and then this was it.
She kind of carried everything through the pandemic on that side of the fence, and it was just good. It was nice and it was fun, and it was nice to see somebody come in and just be given that immediate rocket. And I guess at some point you'd have to put the brakes on, but it was just a little bit too quick.
Damn.
But sticking with Fridays and SmackDowns, and SmackDown is on NBC USA and networks and that and rosters, and apparently NBC and USA are unhappy with the stacked SmackDown roster, which is huge. So while wrestling fans may be happy with the returns of Lynch and Lesnar, as we said, NBC Universal and the USA Network reportedly don't feel the same way. And now, according to Zarian, again, some at NBC and USA are upset with how stacked the SmackDown roster is compared to Raw, with both Brock and Becky scheduled to appear on tonight's show. The report also states that the officials weren't happy that neither Lynch nor Lesnar appeared on Raw, unlike John Cena, who appeared on both shows despite being in a feud with SmackDown star Roman Reigns. The officials at WWE have supposedly reassured NBC and USA, just telling them that it's temporary and there is going to be a draft which takes place in early October, which should even things up a little bit. It must be frustrating if you are a network and kind of looking at it going, why aren't we getting this?
Yeah, exactly.
Why are we getting shafted? Why are they getting this? and it's got to be difficult, but at the same time, yeah, it's. The landscape changes, doesn't it, with every draft? And Roman could be on Raw. We don't know where anybody's going.
Yeah.
Everything could be, well, unless Edge is moving.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that might have been a weird website glitch, but
yes.
But it should hopefully even things out. I just hope SmackDown doesn't get gutted a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Because it often feels that way from draft to draft.
It does.
Now and then.
That's true. It does feel like one gets all of it and the other gets none of it. And then when they do the draft, it's just like, well, we'll take all the people from SmackDown, but put them on Raw instead.
Yeah. And then everybody on SmackDown gets good again.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
they go back to Raw.
Yeah.
It's like SmackDown's used as this kind of weird feeder system,
yeah,
but also puts on a shorter, tighter, better show. But yeah, there's nothing really more they can do about it. They're just going to have to hang fire. And WWE are, of course, not going to want to upset their network, are they?
Well,
this is where they get all their money.
We'll see. We'll see, Sam.
Now, taking a look at Adam Cole. Adam Cole has been all over the news for the last couple of weeks. Speculation is rife about his WWE contract status. He had some obligations to fulfill yesterday, and we reported on that. But apparently, he could be a free agent. So, with news that he would be appearing on the Amazon Live thing yesterday, there was the speculation that he was going to be signing a new deal because of that. But it turns out that was filmed weeks ago. And PW Insider are saying that he is internally considered done with WWE unless both sides can somehow come to terms on a new deal. And yeah, the live stream was a few weeks ago, and as of now, after today, Cole is apparently legally allowed to negotiate with any other wrestling group he desires. Cue the hype train.
I'm so excited, Sam! I'm so excited.
If you lose Adam Cole, do you just lose Adam Cole though?
I mean, no, because I think you're going to lose a lot of merch sales. You're going to lose a lot of viewers as well. I think.
Yeah, for sure. I just meant, are you likely to maybe lose some members of the era?
I mean, Tom was talking about this. What happens if they just all rock up on an episode of Dynamite like the Radicals? They're all just sat at the front row.
Like, I mean, could you imagine?
Could you imagine? And that's the thing. Like,
I get to see Bobby Fish wrestle.
Oh my God! Yes, please.
Bobby.
But like, all their histories are entwined together. They've done so much together throughout the years.
Yeah.
That I think it would be weird for them all to not be in one place. They benefit from being all together. I think so much. They're all perfect on their own. Don't get me wrong, but like together they're just a force that can't be reckoned with in wrestling. I think.
I do think even if it's not now, even if it's not like immediate, it's one of those things where I don't know. It just feels like one day they will all end up back in the same place.
Yeah, definitely.
And we'll get some sort of unofficial, undisputed era, whatever it becomes, and whatever it becomes known as. It will probably be a whole new thing. They're very creative guys, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I think one day we may see them back together if it's not immediately. But moving on now to talk about AEW talent that has been announced for Chris Jericho's cruise. You a fan of cruises, Andrew?
I get seasick, Sam. I'm bad.
I never really get seasick, but I just couldn't imagine. Like, I've done the ferry to Amsterdam, and that was painfully boring.
Was it really?
Like, there's a bar, there's a little cinema.
Not too bad.
Like, it's not too bad, but after you've kind of done everything, it's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Could you imagine being on a boat for 2 weeks? I know you get off and stuff. You go have a mill around and that.
And there's swimming pools and stuff on there.
But I couldn't. The thought alone, I'm like, what would I do?
I'd just be scared that the boat would just sink. It would just hit something and go down, and I can't swim, Sam.
Well, this might be why we're now seeing things like Chris Jericho's cruise, where you have wrestling and music and boats. So it's a mixture of things. But he was announced. He announced that he was going to be doing his cruise, and he's now announced that some AEW talents are booked for the show, and it sets out on October 21st and runs through to October 25th, and it goes from Miami to the Grand Bahamian Island. AEW Women's Champion Britt Baker, Orange Cassidy, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Colt Cabana will all be on board. And AEW have already confirmed there'll be a special Saturday Night Dynamite on October 23rd, and the rosters will be split between that and the cruise. So
that's really cool.
Yeah, this is nice.
I like that.
I like the idea of this.
Me too. That gives me shades of when SmackDown did the rap festival and had the two things split and stuff, and we got a bit from there and a bit from there.
Well, we already saw AEW off a boat, right?
We did,
and it worked really well. It was a very novel, very unique approach to it, and it just looked so cool. And like, I think it's more of that, more unique stuff. Make it like, I want to be like, arenas like in Street Fighter or Tekken.
Yeah.
It's just random. Let's do a random
up.
show in the woods. Let's do a random show like here or there. Like just make these big sort of weird, strange spaces. And
That'd be awesome.
Strangely, even though I'm like, oh God, I could never imagine going on a cruise. I think it must be awesome to be on one of these.
I want to see environmental fatalities now you said that. So I want someone to get kicked off the boat and then a shark just like is waiting at the bottom to get it. But then Taz gets it in Taz mission and I don't know what's going on. I'm just speculating now, and I would like to see that, but we'll see. But yeah,
it's just fighting a whale.
I'd love to see that. That'd be amazing. But yeah, they're fun. They're always fun.
I mean, I can't wait to see what's coming. But finally, we're going to take a look over to the MLW side of the fence. And MLW is a company we don't get to talk about nearly enough, as much as we should. And the owner, Court Bauer, has revealed that both an MLW women's title and MLW action figures are reportedly on the way. And he was responding to fans on Twitter when he said that it's in the works, the title, and a deal for the figures has been signed and they will arrive sometime in 2022. I think this is, more wrestling figures can only be a good thing.
It can only be a good thing.
It's especially for, younger up-and-coming talent and talent more on the fringes of that side that work with MLW and, it's all the kind of big and up-and-comers, that sort of thing. It's super collectible. And it gives these people, it gives the talent, merchandise that usually you wouldn't really have at that kind of level. And I think that's awesome because if you really like a wrestler for MLW, you're now going to be able to get a figure.
Exactly, and I think it's really good as well for say a kid goes to a store and he sees this figure and is like, whoa, this looks awesome, and then that could potentially put more eyes on MLW as well.
Well, that's it. What is MLW?
Yeah, and
then you're looking at the back and there's some guy doing all the crazy stuff. It's I think this is. It's only a positive thing, and it's another positive step for MLW. And I think they're going to continue to just keep growing and growing until they're just out there as one of the bigger companies. They seem to just really have their head screwed on.
They do, and a lot of companies sort of poach their talent as well. So it goes to show that their caliber of wrestler in MLW is fantastic as well. It's just it's a shame, myself included. I don't really keep up to date on MLW, and I feel like I should do because there's a lot of stuff on there.
I'm able to catch the odd show here and there, and it's always a lot of fun. And I'm like, I've got to stay on top of this. And every time it's I've fallen out of the loop. But yeah, I'm just buzzing for this. But that was your second dose of lovely wrestling news for the day. We may be back for a third later. I have no idea. It depends entirely on what news breaks. But it's Friday. Woo! You better have a good weekend planned. Even if you're doing nothing. You listen here.
You better have.
You better have a good weekend planned.
Look at him. Listen
Just chill out. Have a nice drink. Doesn't need to be alcoholic. Sit in the sun if it's sunny. Watch a film if it's rainy. Sundays, good day for old James Bond. There's a pro tip.
There you go.
Catch you in a bit.
Bye.
Goldfinger.